Talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. What can go wrong will go wrong. They just blew a 20-point lead to the Indiana Pacers. They lost game 2, 120-119. There is no shame in losing to the Indiana Pacers, but the Cavaliers were the first seed in the regular season. All the way through, it seems like. They were easily the best team in the regular season in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to say this right now before I get into game 1 and also into game 2. I know that Darius Garland has missed a lot of time lately dealing with a toe injury, but we can't use those injuries as an excuse in game 2. They were up by 25 points and they lost this matchup. You can't have this. And this has been one of the craziest playoff runs in NBA history since 2000 with all the blown leads. The Cavaliers had this game won. Donovan Mitchell has 48 points. He didn't shoot the best from the field, but he was getting to the free throw line over and over again. You saw some big time production down the stretch from Max Strus. Jared Allen, 22 points, 12 rebounds. Ty Jerome didn't do much. 1 of 14 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. Now you can make the case, if they had Darius Garland, if they had Evan Mobley, and the same with DeAndre Hunter, they would have won this matchup. Unfortunately, they don't have those players. You can just go out there and play with the players that you have. And once again, you are up in this matchup. When I look at Darius Garland, even if they do rush him back, he may not be the same player that he was in the regular season at the beginning portion when they went against the Miami Heat in the opening round. Darius Garland, a lot of his game is based off his quickness and his ability to get to the lane. Darius Garland is an underrated player. He's a very good three-point shooter. But this is the problem with Darius Garland. He's dealing with that toe injury. He runs around a lot. He runs around off a lot of screens behind Jared Allen, and the same with Evan Mobley. How would his shiftiness look if he's able to come back and play in this series? Evan Mobley, the fact that he was out, they're not able to come down with offensive rebounds down the stretch. You still have Jared Allen, but what made the Cleveland Cavaliers so special, they have one of the best front courts in terms of defense, and they have one of the best back courts in terms of offense. You're missing a lot of that right now. And DeAndre Hunter was a big-time get at the trade deadline from the Atlanta Hawks. A big defender that could shoot the three on a consistent basis. So adding all of that into the fact that you just blew this lead, I don't have that much confidence in the Cavaliers coming up unless some of those players can come back and help Donovan Mitchell. But in game 2, they started off red hot. They were matching the Indiana Pacers blow for blow. In game 1, we saw the Indiana Pacers. They came out red hot with Halliburton, Siakam. Same with Miles Turner. They're just getting to the rim on a consistent basis. They can't stop them. They're running that two-man game. And Evan Mobley did have some solid moments in game 1, him and Jared Allen. But as soon as he went down with that injury, you saw Pascal Siakam just rolling to the basket over and over again. In the last minute of game 2, they allowed not 1, not 2, but 3 offensive rebounds. They had a turnover on an inbounds play, and they had a stupid offensive foul in the last 57 seconds to be exact. And all of that accumulated for Tyrese Halliburton to go down there with just seconds on the clock, hit the game-winning 3. It is tough to come back from situations like that because you know that you had that game at home, and now you go on the road. But I look at Donovan Mitchell. The first 2 games, he's been phenomenal. He's been a very good player. You could say the referees were helping him out in game 2. He was 1 of 7 from 3. He still had 48 points. They're going to need to get more out of Ty Jerome. He needs to be more consistent. But he's not supposed to be in this spot. He's supposed to be coming off the bench in relief for a Darius Garland or a Donovan Mitchell. This is a tough situation for the Cavaliers, and I really just don't want to come on here and just make it seem like the only reason why they're losing right now is because they don't have their star players. But these are major players in terms of putting the puzzle together for the Cavaliers. And this really sucks. And the reason why I'm being overly dramatic right now, it may seem like they ran into a similar situation just last year against the Boston Celtics. You're dealing with injuries to the bigs. Donovan Mitchell, he got injured. And you fizzled out against the Celtics. It seems like deja vu. And you just fired J.B. Bickerstaff as your head coach to bring in Kenny Atkinson. And Kenny Atkinson is one of the best coaches that you can have. The players let him down late in the fourth quarter, but he also let them down. 2 things can be true here. This is not a good situation for Cleveland at all. And as soon as the Cavalier fans are chanting overrated to Tyrese Halliburton at the free throw line, you can see him just shake his head and he starts smiling. For him just to come out 15 minutes later and hit that game-winning shot. If they can get Evan Mobley back and the same with Darius Garland, I can still see this series going to 7 games. But it's going to be tough as hell to win back-to-back games in Indiana. But crazier things have happened. You're not down 3-0. You're not down 3-1. You're just down 2-0. But they're going to need to dig into their heels and go out there and finish out games. Right now, the Pacers, they have the grit. And they have that we're not going to quit mentality. While the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, they have the we can't finish our games problems because of the lack of star power that they have due to their injuries. They're going to need more out of those other players to step up coming off the bench if those big 3 guys can't come in and help out Donovan Mitchell. But I thought for sure that Darius Garland was going to at least be able to just play a couple minutes in this matchup, but that was not the case. If you're going to rush those players back, you have to do it in game 3. If you don't rush them back in game 3 and they're going to be out for a substantial amount of time, just don't rush them back. It's going to be hard to see how to come down from a 3-0 lead or even a 3-1. You have to respect the Indiana Pacers here. It's the reason why they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and you could say injuries played a part of that when they went against the Knicks, when they went against the Bucks. You can't help your circumstances. You can just go out there and play to the best of your ability. That's it. And that's what the Pacers have done. And Max Strus, in game 1, he had a terrible matchup in terms of just shooting the 3 ball, in terms of just shooting from the field. I have to give him his credit in game 2. He had 23 points, 8 rebounds. He was 8 of 18 from the field, but 5 of 12 from the 3. What really hurt the Cavaliers in this matchup was the rebounding and the pacing. And the pacing is killing them. You have Nesmith. He's going out there. He had 23 points. Miles Turner had 23 points. Mathurin off the bench had 19 points. So they're beating you up with their pacing and with their bench production. But the Cavaliers had this game won. I will say that. They had this game won. If they can go out there with a similar game plan in game 3 and just finish things out and still be aggressive down the stretch, they will be fine. This is not a situation I'm writing off the Cleveland Cavaliers. I respect both teams. So if you're a Pacers fan, trust me, you will get a separate video. When I look at Cleveland, if you're a Cavaliers fan, it does suck right now. But we have seen teams in the past blow 20-point leads and they come back and they overtake the series. We've seen teams in the past, they go down 0-2, they come back and they win the matchup. Anything is possible, but in order for the Cavaliers to go out there and finish out this series, they're going to need one of those players to come back in either Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, or Darius Garland. Hell, if all of them can come back, that would be great. I think that Evan Mobley is more important to Darius Garland and the same with DeAndre Hunter in terms of him being able to stretch the floor and just be a menace on defense. That's what they really miss in game 2 and his offensive rebounding. A lot of fans may not pay attention to this. Offensive rebounding matters a lot in terms of second chance points. If you have him down there with Jared Allen, those are 2 skyscrapers. They come down with the basketball, dump it back off to Donovan Mitchell, or just go back up with it and just get an and one opportunity. They're missing that right now. And his presence was missed the most, in my opinion, in game 2. They need him to be on the court. Hopefully all the players can come back and they can stay fully healthy. And I hope that's the case for every team that's remaining in the NBA playoffs. But let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Cleveland Cavaliers? And do you believe that they still have a shot to come back in this series? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.